Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? ANZD here with the second stimulus check update and the second stimulus package update. And what's going on Capitol Hill? Let's talk about it. Now, the Republican leaders, along with the Democrat leaders, haven't spoke to one another since last Friday. Now, earlier last week, they was having a deal. They was coming together, and they was making arrangements of having a deal to come through for the second stimulus package. Now, what happened between then and Friday, I'm not really sure. Words are that some things they couldn't agree on in terms of money for state and local government. Other things they couldn't agree on in terms of, the Republicans want $1 trillion and the Democrats want $3.4 trillion, and the Democrats was willing to come down to $2.4 trillion. With all that said, negotiation wasn't right. So let's get into some more things. So recently, Mnuchin was able to reach out to the Democrat leaders, Pelosi and Schumer, and they was able to try to get together and start to talk more about what they can do in terms of the second stimulus package. Because remember, the president just signed into order, executive order, for 4 different things. That was for unemployment, that was for student loan, as well as eviction moratorium, as well as the payroll tax, taking out some of the money from Social Security in order so people can have more money in their checks. But a lot of people were saying that this won't go into effect for another month or so. So what's happening is, I guess they're trying to get together, try to come up with some agreement, because like we said before, they really can't agree on the numbers. They want to do the certain things. So they want to do another stimulus check of $1,200. They want to do more money for PPP, and certain things they're agreeing on, but they're not agreeing on the right numbers for the next stimulus package. So Senate is now in session. They were supposed to be on recess, but I guess they kind of holding a semi-recess, because some are still there at Capitol Hill, and some did go home because it's around that time. They got a campaign, they got to talk to their people and see what their people want and make sure they stay in office. So recently, about 28.2 people are on unemployment, making the unemployment rate about 10%. Now, that's way better than last week. I think about 30-something last week was on unemployment, and the unemployment rate was almost 12%. So it's good that people are able to get jobs and get back into the workforce. It's still a high number, though, dating back to one of the highest numbers going back to the Great Depression era. For right now, there's no new stimulus package deal. There's nothing on the table. We did have the HEROES Act and the HEALS Act. The HEALS Act, I don't even know what happened to the HEALS Act, but the HEROES Act, they was using that as a base for what they can work out with some deal in terms of the second stimulus package, which makes sense because it did get voted through the House of Representatives. And it kind of goes back to what the Republicans are saying. I'm not claiming any side. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I don't even know if I'm an independent, but so it goes back to now to the Democrats had this HEROES Act on place way back in May, and remember now the Republicans are saying, that was going to be dead on arrival, but now they're saying that, okay, well, they can't make a deal out with the Democrats because the Democrats don't want to compromise on anything. Well, they did compromise because they came down about $1 trillion, but still they're trying to say okay, they're not trying to compromise and they don't want the best for the people. When you look at it, some of these Republican leaders from way back in May. So if you look at it, some of these Republicans leaders from way back in May, June should have been addressing the HEROES Act and what they can do with the HEROES Act. So right now, executive orders is in place, but like I said earlier, executive order might take about a month to get those going through. Unemployment might not be very good because some states are saying that, okay, well, it's a $400 unemployment bonus and the state have to come up with 25%. Some states are saying that they can't do the $100. They can't come up with the $100 a week bonus because they just don't have the funds for it. Because that's why they was asking for another stimulus package in order to get state and local governments some more funds. So most states don't have the $100. So if you do get that bonus, it went from $600. It would have been $400. Some states it's going to be $300, and that's going to be most states. So yeah, so that's going to be probably most states going to have it at $300, and that's a big drastic change. And a lot of people are saying, a lot of economics and studies are showing that with no new stimulus package, it will hurt the recovery of the economy. And right now, the economy was trying to make some moves with going up and stuff like that. In other news, we got Russia. Russia has said that they passed their vaccine through. Their vaccine is ready to go. And so I don't know, they might be selling to the United States. But you gotta check out Moderna and Pfizer. Moderna and Pfizer, I think, are in their phase 3 and phase 4 of their testing out their vaccine and stuff like that. So a lot of things is going on. And for my people with SSI, SSDI, as well as people on SSA, payout day was on Wednesday. So make sure you double check to see if you got a payout, or check to Get My Payment Portal to see if it's been updated and you have a pending date of getting your EIP first $1,200 stimulus check. Might do a follow-up to see what some of you guys are saying, if you received yours, if you're not, if you're receiving a pending date or not, and just see how things are going. So once again, this is ANZ Dawkins. Continue to be safe. Peace.